Welcome to the GSMC Fitness Podcast, the show that helps you sort through all of the trends, new and old, of the fitness world. We'll talk about yoga, running, Zumba, weightlifting, and everything in between. Whether you've got your fitness routine down to a science or you're just starting out and looking for direction, you'll find educational and entertaining information on the GSMC Fitness Podcast. Welcome to the GSMC Fitness Podcast. I'm your host, Alexandra. Today, we're going to be talking about Valentine's Day ideas for your fitness partner, health versus weight loss, and hurricane workouts. So let's start with Valentine's Day ideas for your fitness partner. If you're panicking, if you don't have anything planned, or if you need one more thing to do, let's talk about that for a little bit. Valentine's Day is coming up. It's coming up fast, but there's still time. No need to freak out. There's options for things you can do. So I think the simple way to go, what most people do, which is totally fine, is a cheat day. Have a simple cheat day, have the dessert you want, the carbs you want, your favorite meals all day long, not too much movement, not too much working out, just a relaxing, chill day. I mean, that sounds pretty nice. I'd go for that every once in a while, and on Valentine's Day, not bad. But if you're on a roll, or if your partner's on a roll, do you really want to break that streak with an extreme cheat day? Man, I wouldn't risk it, especially if you in particular are prone to kind of having some issues if you cheat too much. You know what I mean? So instead of doing that, I think my favorite suggestion that I have seen is meal prep. If your partner can't cheat or is on a streak, meal prep for them. I mean, you've seen them do it 1,000 times by now, and I'm sure they talk to you about it. Why not do it for them for once? I mean, meal prepping definitely makes everything easier. It saves time. However, it's still work. You've got to buy everything at the right time, cook everything, organize it, put it away, plan it, make sure everything's measured right, and it's just a whole process, and it can be exhausting. If you don't know what your partner's meal prep usually is, just ask them, honestly. Just tell them you're curious what they do and do you want to try something new or whatever it is. Or what you could do, actually, I think this is a really cute one. If you see them working on it, literally walk up to them, stop them, and be like, oh, I'll do that. They'll be so confused. I think that would be really cute. And way better than a cheat day. Way better. Because you can use those meals for Valentine's Day, and it'll be all set and all ready. You can even make that particular Valentine's meal extra special, like make stuff heart-shaped, put like one little treat in there, instead of having the whole meal be a cheat meal, you know what I mean? I also saw a fun option if you want to do something extra special, like breakfast in bed. I saw there's this protein pancake mix. So you can make pancakes out of protein. I guess there's like a special protein powder in it and it's sweet. And then it's a pancake mix. I don't know if you need eggs or anything or if it's just mixed with water. I really don't know what the recipe for it would be, but that's an option. You could probably order that from somewhere if it's not in your local grocery store. And it's a healthy breakfast. They'll see the pancakes and they'll be like, babe, I can't eat that. And you can just be like, yes, you can. Because guess what? It's your protein and carbs for the morning. And you're all set. And put some fruit on there. That would be really nice. Man, I know a lot of people like to cut down on their fruits if they're trying to cut down on sugars, but I don't know, man. Maybe at first that's okay, but fruit's important. Don't cut out too much and don't cut it out for too long. Cut it out enough that you're making progress on the less sugar, but if fruit is keeping you away from syrupy things like pancakes or cakes or cheesecakes, ice cream, all of that, just eat the fruit. It's not that big a deal, I promise. Now, forget about food and cheating or trying to be healthy with Valentine's Day. What about an actual gift? I saw all kinds of things, Fitbits, clothes, different exercise materials or equipment, whatever. All of those are great, especially if your partner's been wanting something for a really long time. But, I don't know, I feel like a yoga mat would be cool. Like a couple's yoga mat. Get one that's big enough that both of you can work out next to each other. And you could even do a workout that day if Valentine's Day isn't your rest day. Plan a Valentine's Day partner workout. Do workouts next to each other or do workouts where you're helping each other out. Or another cool one, swap your workouts and see what the other one does. That might be kind of weird for some people if you're at different levels, but it'd be interesting to just try a sample and see what it's like. I don't know, I think stuff like that's really cute, especially if you get the yoga mat, so you have the space to do something like that. And then when you're done, and you're all relaxed, you can take a shower, and you're all nice and happy, and you had a good time with each other, go get a couples massage. I mean, that sounds like a great Valentine's Day to me. A nice protein-packed pancake morning, workout, and some maybe lunch that you meal prepped earlier. Do you relax a little bit? Then go get a nice couples massage. Oh, that sounds great. Then after that, chill for a little bit, and then your meal prep is all ready to go for dinner. You can even have a little snack, some chocolates. If you want to cheat, maybe do dark chocolate with no caramel. Dark chocolate with nuts. The healthiest you can go. I don't know, something like that. I feel like that would be really sweet, really romantic, and nice. If you are in the habit of being more active or just you're afraid to not be super active, I totally get that. Try something new. And I don't just mean any random old thing you guys have been wanting to try. You could do that too, absolutely. Take some course you've been wanting to do, but try to do something a little bit romantic. Like, if you've never gone hiking, or if there's a particular mountain or trail you've never been to, do that. Go for a hike, go for a run, somewhere with a view, whatever the view is. Trees, mountains, water, flowers, whatever it is. Do some kind of a workout with a view, but at a new location. Or maybe a location that you haven't been to in a while. I don't know, make it romantic, make it nice, but make it suit your fitness routine and goals and what you want to do. And if you don't want to do those, you could also do a bike ride. There are plenty of different trails you could take. You could even plan the day out where you're biking to whatever you're doing. Like, you wake up, get ready, you bike to the park, and you take a picnic with you. And you have a nice, healthy meal prep picnic with a cheat dessert if you want. And then you guys relax a little bit. Then you bike to the next location. You bike to your massage, for example. I don't know. Make it fun. Be creative with it. Don't be afraid that just because it's Valentine's Day, you have to mess up your whole routine, or that working out has to be the most awful, awful thing in the world. It doesn't. I promise. So while you're thinking on that, let's take a break. And when you come back, we're going to talk about getting fit for Valentine's Day.
Do you want to be healthier, yet you just don't know what to do? All these shows telling you this and that, but nothing seems to work. Well, listen close. Golden State Media Concepts has got something great for you. The Health and Wellness Podcast dedicated to workout trends, healthy eating habits, diet, and everything about healthy living. Join us in our banters as we help you not just live life to the fullest, but live it to the healthiest.
Welcome back. In our first segment, we talked about fun ideas for Valentine's Day for your fitness partner, or for you, whoever's on their fitness journey. So let's keep talking about the Valentine's Day, the romance, and let's talk about getting fit for Valentine's Day. Now, I know there's not a lot of time left, but that doesn't mean you can't make progress enough to be positive about the progress that you've made. You know what I mean? To get motivated, to get in a good mood, to feel like, yeah, you know what? I feel good and I look good for Valentine's Day. Obviously, you can't make leaps and leaps of progress if your goal is huge, but there's enough time to do a little bit, to get some work in there. And you know what? If anything, make Valentine's Day your motivator for starting if you haven't started yet. Why not start now? See how much progress you can make by Valentine's Day. And if you see even the most minimal results, and I don't just mean physically, appearance-wise, I mean, then use that as an excuse to keep going. So, getting ready for Valentine's Day. Now, you have roughly 2 weeks, maybe a little less than that. 2 weeks isn't bad. The healthy amount of weight to lose within 2 weeks would be 2 to 4 pounds. 4 pounds at most. But if you are new to working out, or it's been a long time since you've worked out, you can actually get away with losing more than 4 pounds. Why? Because when you first start working out, it's actually normal to lose an excessive amount of weight. Nothing like super extreme, but over what's considered healthy. A lot of people say that it's water weight usually that you're losing. But it's normal. It's your body getting into gear, the metabolism is changing, the body's working extra hard because it's doing something it's not used to doing. That's completely normal, and you will make a starting leap of progress. So if you are working out somewhat regularly, stick to 2 to 4 pounds in the 2 weeks, 1 to 2 pounds per week, max. But otherwise, it's totally fine. Don't stress if you lose more than that. That's normal. And that's cool, actually, because that's a lot of weight. Even 1 pound. Do you know how much weight 1 pound is? It doesn't look like a lot on the scale, but it's a lot for your body. And the other thing is, even if, let's say, it's not necessarily super visible, or you in particular, you're not noticing it, for whatever reason, your endurance is going to increase. In 2 weeks, you're going to notice a difference. Your workout will change. You will notice you can handle more. Even if it's only a little bit more, you will notice an improvement there. Man, that's encouraging enough, if anything. I get the most discouraged when I can't do as many reps as I want. But once I get used to it and I'm noticing a difference and I'm able to do more, that's when I'm like, yeah, I got this. I'm doing something right. You know what I mean? And it can happen pretty quickly. Like, honestly, it can. Your metabolism will improve immensely quickly. I know I mentioned that, but if you do high intensity training, that will absolutely help your metabolism. It's a combination of strength and cardio, and you need both. That will help your metabolism. Obviously, your diet has to change to improve your metabolism as well, and all of that will also help you drop some weight. So diet, make sure you're getting in your veggies, your fiber, plain yogurt, non-sugary, sour yogurt. That's excellent for your digestive system, you know, if you're not lactose intolerant. Morning shakes are something I've added to my routine, not daily, but I like them a few times a week for breakfast. Make sure that you're getting enough protein as well, because you're going to be needing that to help repair your muscles so you're strong enough to continue with these workouts. And make sure you're eating enough carbs for energy. If you're trying to lose weight, you want to drop sugars before you drop carbs, but you do want to drop carbs to a certain extent. But just make sure you have enough for energy. It's so important because otherwise you're going to crash. Please don't crash. That's such a common mistake people make, and I am in love with carbs, so I just don't care. I eat them, and I need them. I mean, they're good energy. If you're worried about your carb intake, cut out a little bit only and swap some of your carbs, if not all of them, to whole grains. The key here is to make enough of a swap so your body starts making the changes and you can feel the difference, but not so much of a swap that you're discouraged and stressed out, because stressing out is it's not going to help with your weight loss and not going to help with your progress, with your metabolism, with your sleep, and your energy levels. And all of that is so, so important. So don't stress. Change enough that you think you can handle it. Because remember, we're trying to make enough healthy progress in 2 weeks. Now, week 1, focus on the high intensity training, okay? That's going to kickstart your system and work on your metabolism, change your metabolism, right? Then the second week, I want you to start on weight training, okay? So high intensity to help kickstart your system. Then week 2, weight training, okay? You don't want to overexert yourself the first week, because then you won't do anything the second week. So just focus on the high intensity. Then week 2, put in the weight training, because that first week you're going to start dropping the fat, which is awesome. But that second week, you want to start building up that muscle. Okay, you want to build up the muscle and get a little bit of definition. Even if it's underneath a little bit of fat, having that definition will help you, because, guys, when you have strength, you are able to handle more and do more intense workouts and therefore make more progress. So don't worry if you can't see what's happening. Especially looking daily, you're not going to notice much. Or looking weekly, you're not going to notice much. But take a picture if this isn't something that's sensitive to you. Take a picture at the beginning of this week, okay? Then do all of this without looking in the mirror whatsoever. And I want you, during these 2 weeks, to pay attention to how your body's responding, how your body's responding to food, to sleep, how your energy levels are changing, how your workout is changing, your stamina, how many reps you can do, how long your workouts can last. Whatever's changing, pay attention to that and don't stare at yourself in the mirror, okay? Just focus on that. Just make sure you're getting enough protein, especially with the weight training. You should be good. And then at the end of that second week, take another picture. And I want you to look at the before and after. Because there will be a difference, and it won't necessarily be huge, but it will be there. And you know what the biggest difference will be? How you feel. And that feeling is way more important than what physical progress you see. You know why? Because that feeling means that you have a head start in your continued workout routine that you should continue doing, and you will start to see physical progress very soon because your body has already started making changes and getting used to this and getting healthier, and it will continue to get healthier, and it will continue to get easier as your metabolism improves, as your strength improves, as your endurance improves. All of this can happen in 2 weeks. I promise you that. Now, if none of that's an issue for you and you want to bulk up, just focus more on full body routines and don't rest so much in between. Like don't spread out the muscle workouts. Don't have leg days and chest days and arm days and whatever, because you're trying to make progress in 2 weeks. So try to do full body workouts. Don't crash and kill yourself with it, but try to do full body. The main thing to remember here is don't overdo it. Just because you're trying to make progress in a short time doesn't mean you can let yourself crash, okay? So be careful with that. Be healthy. Let's get healthy before Valentine's Day, right? Let's get on that path for whatever we're doing that day, and then have a great day because you feel great, you feel good about yourself, and then continue on that streak. So enough about Valentine's Day. Let's take a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about health versus weight loss.
Tired of searching the vast jungle of podcasts? Now listen close and hear this out. There's a podcast network that covers just about everything that you've been searching. Hey! The Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network is here. Nothing less than a podcast bliss with endless hours of podcast coverage. From news, sports, music, fashion, cooking, entertainment, fantasy, football, and so much more. So stop lurking around and go straight out to the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. Guaranteed to fill that podcast itch. Whatever it may be. Visit us at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and download us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play.
Welcome back. Earlier we talked about getting fit for Valentine's Day and how it's not impossible to make progress. You can do it. I promise. I say that a lot, but it's true. Alright, let's get into health versus weight loss, because I've mentioned this here and there within different segments, but I don't know if people quite understand what I mean by health versus weight loss. Let me ask you a question. What's your weight goal? Did you have an immediate answer? If you don't, but you want to have a weight goal, think about it for a second. What is it? What's your weight goal? How much do you want to weigh? Even if it's a little range, what's that range? What's the goal here? Got it? Okay. Now, why? Why? Why is that your weight goal? Why did you decide on that number? What's so special about that number for you? Where did you get it from? I'm asking this because people pick a weight goal based on their height, and that's fine. Nothing's wrong with that. But people also pick weight goals based on, their inspiration, and I don't like that at all. Okay, there's nothing wrong with being inspired by a fitness celebrity or a regular celebrity or any sort of figure, public figure, whatever it is. But please do not look at celebrities for your weight goals. There are so many reasons. Where do I start? Even if they're the same height as you. Even if you think their body type is the same as yours. How much is their body type actually the same as yours? Do you really know where they gain weight when they snack, where they don't? What their health is like, what health issues they've had or are dealing with? Or what about you? What are your health differences? How does your body respond to food, and how does their body respond to food? Do you know the differences? Because I bet you don't know all those differences. How do your muscles respond to workouts versus how their muscles respond to certain workouts? Bet you don't know that one either. Looking at celebrities is dangerous. They pose in very flattering ways. They wear clothes that are very flattering. They have professionals, trainers, people telling them what to eat, when to eat it, whatever it is. Especially for actors that do what's it called? I can't remember the phrase right now. My mind is blanking. Method acting. That's what it's called. When actors do method acting. When Hugh Jackman did Wolverine, his diet was literally steamed chicken and steamed vegetables, usually like broccoli or carrots, I think, or something, every 2 hours. Because his natural figure is slim. But he needed to bulk up for the role, to build on that muscle. But his natural figure is not bulky like that. Every 2 hours. Steamed chicken and veggies. Broccoli. I'm sorry, but that sounds disgusting and terrible. And I love Hugh Jackman. He's an amazing actor. But he's talked about it before that's a lot. And that's one of the reasons he was kind of done with Wolverine. Even though he was honored, happy to do the role, I'm sure. He's a nice guy. Blah, blah, blah. But do you see what I mean? You don't necessarily know everything, even if the celebrity tells you what they're doing. And even if they're telling the truth, bodies respond differently to different things. So you've got to be careful. Another thing that I hate that people do. Okay, unless you are training for a bikini competition or something, do not look at losing inches in specific areas. I really hate this. Wanting in general to lose fat in specific areas, I understand that. People in general want to lose fat in their arms and in their belly and sometimes on their hips or thighs. Common areas. Totally get it. But actually counting the inches, I personally never understood that whatsoever. The only times I've ever measured myself are to order my prom dresses in high school. That's literally it. That's it. I've never ever, or I didn't measure them. I didn't even know the measurements, but my mom likes to sew a lot. And especially growing up, she would sew me tons of different dresses and outfits. And so she'd have to measure me. Did I care about the measurements? No. She had to make clothes that fit me. So she measured. Losing inches stresses me out. Just hearing about it from other people. I don't see how that can be mentally healthy. It just sounds way more stressful than it's worth. Most people aren't training for special competitions or anything. They just want to be healthy or want to be fit or want to look good. All of that is possible without stressing yourself out with weird numbers that don't mean anything. To me, at least. I just don't think they're important. I think it's just not worth it. Not worth it. The important thing to think about is, what would you be happy with? And try to think about it this way. Obviously, nothing's wrong with wanting to look good. Okay, I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but you have to consider body types and health into these things. So, to help you switch that mindset, try to train your brain to think about, I want you to answer this question right now, by the way. I'm going to ask you, what do you want to be able to physically do that you currently cannot? If you get winded going up a flight of stairs, is that something you want to fix? If you get dizzy when you get up too fast, if you get dizzy from that way too often, that's something that you can change. If you eat a slice of cake every single day and you want to break that habit, that's something you can change. What is it? What physically do you want to be able to do? Do you want me to tell you my goals? Okay, currently, I can't do as many push-ups as I could when I was younger, and I'm so annoyed. I can do like 10 push-ups, but not 10. I can do more than that. I can do 10 good push-ups, but I can do 20 push-ups and they start to get bad. Like after 12, maybe they start to get not so great. My form's not great. I used to be able to do like 60 push-ups, no problem. I hate that I can't do that now. And I'm healthy. Man, I am so healthy. I am so in shape. I have arm definition. Nothing insane, but I have definition. But I can't do those push-ups that I used to be able to do. And I want to be able to do that. So that's one of my physical goals that I'm working towards. Another thing to think about is, what clothes do you want to be able to wear? Not what clothes do you want to fit into, what style do you want to be able to wear? Because if we're thinking fashion-wise, okay, in general, most people feel that there are certain styles that suit certain types of people, certain body types, not necessarily sizes, but certain shapes fit certain people, regardless of size. However, size can sometimes change those styles. So, is there a style you feel not so great wearing now, but you think it's so cute, and you want to be able to wear that kind of style? That's something that you can think about that isn't stressing you out by focusing so much on your waist size and how many inches you have to lose. You know what I mean? So I want you guys to take it slow and just change your mindset with it, because you don't want to be stressed. That will not help you in this process. All right, let's take another break. I'm going to let you marinate on that. And when we come back, let's talk about losing weight too quickly. I vaguely mentioned it, but I didn't explain why that's not a good thing.
The GSMC Life and Happiness Podcast takes you on a journey of exploration. We'll discuss tried and true methods alongside the latest trends of how to best live your life to its fullest and happiest. From psychology to meditation, science to self-help books, the GSMC Life and Happiness Podcast will help you to discover what makes you happy and how you can live life being the best you possible. Download the GSMC Life and Happiness Podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, or anywhere you find podcasts. Just type GSMC in the search bar.
Welcome back. Earlier we talked about health versus weight loss. We're going to continue on that healthy note with talking about losing weight too quickly. I've absolutely mentioned it before, but do you guys know what happens to the body if you lose weight too quickly? Because it's not fun at all. It's really, really bad, actually. So, you've heard it's bad. I'm sure you've heard it's bad plenty of times. But why? Why is it bad? Well, let's start with this. People who lose weight slowly at a steady, nice, easy pace are more likely to keep up the streak. Why? Well, it's exactly what I've been suggesting and what I believe in. When you start slow and make slow habits that aren't impossibly extreme, you're in a better place mentally and it's easier to create the habit. When you do something extreme, it's harder. You want to resist more. When you start slow, the habit lasts. It lasts. It really does. Because you see and notice you're able to do the little progress that you planned on doing, and you decide to then do more, and then you notice you can handle that, and then you decide to do more. Do you see where I'm going with this? You see what I mean? The other thing is, I kind of mentioned it in the last one because they're connected, mental health. Your mental health just improves. There's less obsession. You know, you're paying attention to your body less. You're just doing things steadily. And there's just less stress. You're not so worried about everything. Slow, excuse me, slow is also usually healthier because there's less risk of rebound weight gain. I've mentioned this before. If you lose weight too quickly, you will end up gaining some of it back. And there's so many other things that can happen to your body. Your metabolism slows down again. Your body just gets stressed out. You're stressing out. Your body gets stressed out, and it starts stressing you out more because it's giving you all these other negative symptoms and effects from your extreme actions. It's really not great. If you're new to a diet or new to a workout, it's normal to lose weight quickly at first. I mentioned that in the last segment. It's perfectly normal. Don't stress about losing extra weight. But it should steady off later. Not that you should stop losing weight, but it should change to a more steady pace where you start to lose 1 to 2 pounds per week. So don't freak out that you're going to hurt yourself if you lose too much at first. That's normal. As long as you're being healthy, it's fine. Your body will adjust. Now, I would suggest don't just don't just follow a diet. Don't just find something to latch onto. Okay? I want you to learn long-term sustainable habits that you can include and that you're not afraid to add to your routine, and just make them last so you can keep the streak going and stay like this, stay healthy and stay on a healthy path. So when you first start, okay, cut out a little more sugars and snacks than usual, but once you get back to it, go back to snacking a little bit. It's fine. For example, I snack now, and I haven't snacked too much for, I don't know, a few months before this, because I'd taken a break from working out because I was moving my whole life around. I was moving, like, physically. And it gained a little weight. Nothing extreme, but there's a little difference you could see physically. And so when I started working out again, I slowly, by the way, started cutting out, not great habits, or things I knew would make the progress slower. Then, after I got into that whole workout routine and got healthier and all of that, I added some of that back in. Because I'm not about extreme diets. Like, that's not for me. I like my snacks. I like my chocolates and my chips and my unhealthy foods, okay? I don't eat them every day, but, like, you know, I don't like anything extreme. As long as you lose your quick weight and then you start doing 1 to 2 pounds per week weight loss, that's totally fine. You should be fine. Just don't try to lose too much per week, because physically you will be exhausted if you're trying to do it from physical activity. If you're trying to do it from diet, you will be physically exhausted too, because you're not going to have the energy to do your normal workout, let alone do anything more extreme. You will crash. So you need to be careful. There was this time in high school I got very sick, and I lost a ton of weight. Physically, I didn't notice because I don't know, I never paid attention to that stuff. So physically, I personally didn't see anything, and it wasn't like I was sickly thin, but I was way, 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 way thinner than I was. Like, there was a difference. And the reason I noticed isn't because of how I looked, but because of how I felt. I didn't just get winded walking up a flight of stairs. I was, you won't believe how exhausted that made me. It was insane. Not even from that, from a simple walk down the hallway, and walking to my seat in the classroom, breathing was an issue. You know, I was just so exhausted because I couldn't eat. I got sick and I didn't drop the weight from the sickness itself, like directly, but I wasn't able to eat because I was sick, and therefore I dropped a ton of weight, and I just didn't have energy. Did not have energy to do everyday things, like breathe normally when I walk for a somewhat extended period of time. Like, do you see what I mean? How dangerous that is? I really dropped so much weight. It was bad. And I made an effort to gain the weight back. I did. And it was hard, but I did it. You have to be careful. You have to be safe. Don't stress yourself out by trying to do too much when that too much is actually going to hurt you more than it's going to help. I just want you guys to be safe and happy. if you guys have any encouraging stories or words like this, I'd really love to hear them. Or any mistakes you'd like to share that maybe other people can learn from. Please share them. I want to know. I think this stuff is super important because people get affected by weight and physical appearance, and that's normal. But don't let that harm you further. Let that simply be a motivator to make those self-improvements and changes that you personally want to make. And let it be a positive thing. Not a should be a positive thing, but turns out to be real bad. You know? Okay, let's take another break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about hurricane workouts. Because I just discovered what these are. And they kind of scare me. But yeah, we'll talk about that after the break.
Still on the search of that one true love? On the limbo in this crazy world of dating, marriage, relationships? Well, listen to the Golden State Media Concepts Relationship Podcast, your one-stop podcast for everything about relationships.
On that because it's really important. Please take it seriously. Now let's talk about hurricane workouts and what exactly that is, because the name sounds intense, and that's because it is intense and it sounds kind of terrifying, and I don't really want to do these, but maybe I'll try them and let you know what I think. So basically, hurricane workouts are extreme cardio and muscle building, weight training, and stretching. So it's everything, all in one. And guess how much this everything lasts? 20 minutes. Oh my God, that sounds so scary to me. It just sounds like a lot. Doesn't that sound like a lot? Extreme cardio and muscle building weight training in 20 minutes. Yes, I skipped the stretching, but still, in 20 minutes. I don't know if that's too short or too long, because shorter means more extreme, but if this is intense for the entire 20 minutes, man, even with breaks, that sounds like a lot. So it's designed by this very, very famous fitness coach, Martin Rooney. He's worked with a lot of people, a lot of athletes. He's very good at what he does. So I'm not saying this is a bad workout. I'm saying it's scary because he made it and he works with athletes. So of course it's scary to the average person, even healthy people that are average. Okay. So what does this consist of in a little bit more detail? Let's break it down. 3 sprint circuits, 2 strength exercises with 3 sets of each circuit. So we talked about circuits before. They're repeating exercises. So 3 sprint circuits. Okay, so you sprint. So you do cardio for 3 circuits. So I guess you take 2 breaks, right? Then 2 strength exercises. So after all of that and you're out of breath, or I guess the adrenaline might help, you do 2 strength exercises. And you do all of this, you do 3 sets of each circuit. That's a lot. But the thing is, it's not even supposed to be like a regular by itself on its own workout routine. The weird thing about this, at least to me, is you do it 1 to 2 times per week. That's it, because it's in addition to your regular workouts. So you keep your regular workouts, whatever they are, and you do this either like on your rest days, or you do it as a warm-up or something to your workout. Like, I'm sorry, what? That's crazy. It's so much. It's intense. It sounds crazy intense. But I guess the, good thing about it for people who are scared of it, like me, is equipment is optional because it depends what workouts you want to do. You can pick and choose. And so you can do it with minimal, simple equipment, or you can just do it with body weight. Totally up to you. So I kind of like that a lot. But if you're working on a way to intensify your workouts, but you don't know how to change them, don't really change them too much. Try adding this into your weekly schedule and see how you feel. I'm not really sure how much or what exactly this improves and how long it takes to show differences. I don't know. Maybe you guys can tell me because I don't fully understand it. What is also great about it, even though it sounds crazy intense, there are categories. Category 1 is for beginners. Category 3 is for intermediate. And category 5 is for advanced. So, I mean, that's good. It has levels. But honestly, to me, sometimes the levels don't mean that much because what if you're a level 1 for one type of workout, but a level 5 for another type, and a level 3 for another type? You know what I mean? What if someone only does strength but no cardio? This will kill them. I think you need to adjust your workout to make sure it's balanced, and then go into this and start off with nothing crazy as far as category goes, and nothing crazy as far as your workout choices. You know what I mean? Pick something that works for you, that you know isn't a workout that's super stressful, because this workout in itself is stressful without the extra stress of picking something extra stressful for you. The idea with this workout, when you do it continuously, I think this is because it's so, you don't do it that often. You need to aim to improve your time and efficiency with each week. So I guess try to do more reps or something. I don't know. It sounds really crazy. But I mean, it's made by Martin Rooney. That means something, you know? That means, he knows what he's talking about, obviously. It's going to help. But how much? How fast? How effective is the beginners versus intermediate versus advanced? When do you switch? I mean, obviously you can feel all these changes and everything, but I'm just really curious. Has anyone ever tried this workout? If you have, let me know, because I'm curious. And, I mean, you guys know me by now. I'm not into super extreme. I'm into steady, take your time, but still push yourself. But, I mean, if you want to push yourself a little extra, if you like that extra and you're not doing too extra, try this out. Let me know what you think, because I don't get it. I personally don't get it. But it seems like an interesting idea. It seems like it would definitely make a difference, but it does scare me. I will have to try this at some point. Maybe I can go with a friend and I'll let you know. Alright, that is it for now. We're going to take another quick break. When we come back, I'm going to talk about my routine a little bit, more. I know I mention it here and there and what changes I want to make or what I've been doing that I like. But I'm going to tell you how I've started changing my routine recently and just from these little changes, how that's affected me.
Pets bring such joy to our lives, and the GSMC Pets podcast is here to share in that joy. We'll tell stories of pets finding their forever homes, acting in unexpected ways, being helpful, or just being silly. Whether you love dogs, cats, llamas, reptiles, fish, or you've never met an animal you didn't like, the GSMC Pets podcast is for you.
Scary it is to me, but how effective it must be because Martin Rooney made it, so it must be really good actually. Alright, but now I'm gonna give you guys some examples because I've told you here and there things I've wanted to change, but I have started changing my routine recently, little by little, and I want you to see what I mean by feeling differences, okay? I'm kind of going to walk you through what I do and my mindset and what I've noticed change. So I told you that I wanted to change my workout and start dancing and kind of cut out other workouts as much as possible. I haven't been able to do that completely. However, I have been dancing more. And along with that, I have adjusted my routine and changed out certain workout moves for others. Because I felt like I've been pretty stagnant because I've been increasing the amount of workouts that reps and stuff that I do. And nothing's wrong with that, but it's gotten to like possibly time waster area. So changing the workouts has helped me keep the progress but not increase the time. And actually kind of lower the time in certain situations, which is great. Another reason to keep changing up your routine relatively regularly. So dancing more has been great because that's kind of been my cardio lately. I haven't been jogging or anything recently. So the dancing's good for that. And it also works certain muscles that the other exercises I'm doing now don't. So there's that. And something else I've noticed, if I'm feeling tired and low energy, I haven't worked out that day. Like, I don't work out in the morning. So when I work out, when I feel that tiredness, my lack of motivation to get any work done outside of the working out, it gets better, like it improves. I get way more energy after I work out and I feel more motivated to do work, do homework, all of that jazz. And even during the workout, I get motivated to do more because I start and I plan to, I might as well get a little bit done because I haven't done it yet. Even though I'm tired, I should do something because it's not a rest day. And then I get into it and I do way more. And it's a normal workout. And then afterwards, I got that adrenaline, I got that energy. And I just do what I need to do. I do some work. I get it done, I get it started, I get something done because I don't know, that physical activity is great for, it's a great kind of motivator. Another thing I've noticed is my diet does fluctuate, but it's overall very healthy. And the fluctuations don't scare me. I was wondering how they would affect my body, but it's been fine so far. And I'll tell you why. Because my metabolism has improved immensely. Snacking is fine because my metabolism is faster. Now, I don't snack every day, but I like my snacks. Like, the other day, I had two boxes of Cheez-Its. When did we get them? Like, 3 weeks ago, let's say. 2 weeks ago, maybe? Something like that. Anyway, I ate like a little more than half of the first box in 2 sittings. I was fine. The second box, I ate roughly half, maybe a little less, in 1 sitting. I had obviously, and I was drinking water, obviously, because they're salty. Cheez-Its are salty. Obviously, I was bloated from that. By the end of the day, you get bloated from anything, and from any big meal, you'll get a little bloated. But by morning, I was good. The bloatness was 100% gone. I mean, 100% gone. If your metabolism is faster, you can actually start snacking again. This is what I mean by noticing physical changes. Your attitude, your diet, your actions, your amount you're working out, none of that has to be super regulated or super perfect. As long as you feel like you're making progress. Right now, the only thing I'm not making progress on, I feel kind of stagnant with, is my arms. Like, there's progress in certain things, but those push-ups, man, I don't know why. For some reason, that's given me issues. So I need to figure that one out just for myself. What will work for me. Because I've tried a few different things and I don't really feel an effect. It's not like a challenge. So I need to find ways to be able to do the push-ups regularly enough to continue to be able to do more. And not feeling like a certain point is too difficult, you know, because sometimes you try something and it feels like it's too difficult, so you feel like you can't even make improvements because you can't even do it well in the first place. I understand that feeling. That definitely happens, especially for when people try to do pull-ups and chin-ups and things like that. I've never tried to do any of those, to be honest. At least not recently. Not in a long time. Maybe I should try to train for those. Maybe that will help. Anyway, my point is, I have noticed these changes and these improvements in how my body is responding to my actions and how I don't need to stress so much about what I'm eating because I'm doing just fine. I really, really am doing just fine. And you can too. Please don't stress yourself out. It's not the end of the world if you snack, I promise. Just try to save it for a little bit later in the journey if you can. If not, cool, but don't beat yourself up. Alright, that's all for today, guys. If you have any questions, anything you want to discuss, please share it. I'm happy to hear your thoughts. I want to hear your thoughts. I'm very curious what you all think and what you have been doing or what you're thinking of doing and any progress that you've made thus far. Let's encourage each other. Anything you're having difficulties with, let me know. Anything you want me to talk about, let me know. I'll look into it, do some research, and let you know my experiences too. Thank you all so much for listening to the GSMC Fitness Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network. I'd like to ask that you please remember to subscribe to the show and write us a nice review. It really helps us out. Also, if you can please follow us on Facebook and Twitter, that would be awesome. I keep you up to date on what I'm doing and share little articles and helpful things for all different levels of fitness and for diet and physical. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Have a good night.
You've been listening to the GSMC Fitness Podcast, part of the GSMC Podcast Network. You can find this show and others like it at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Download our podcasts on Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Google Play, and any app where you listen to podcasts. Just type in GSMC to find all of the shows from the GSMC Podcast Network. From movies to music, from sports to entertainment, from business news to weird news, we cover it all. You can also follow us on Twitter and Facebook and listen to these podcasts on YouTube. Thank you, and we hope you have enjoyed today's podcast.